quantum management, employee engagement, and energy flow. Hi! Let's talk about something that makes the difference between a team that thrives and a team that merely survives: energy flow and engagement. The best organizations don't just focus on efficiency, they focus on creating environments where human potential can truly flourish. I've seen workplaces where employees feel drained, uninspired, and disconnected from their work. It's not because they lack skill or dedication, but because the structure around them doesn't support motivation, creativity, or purpose. When organizations operate with strict control, rigid hierarchies, and excessive micromanagement, energy flow is blocked. People begin to do the bare minimum, simply following instructions rather than bringing their full creativity and passion to the table. But in organizations that prioritize energy flow, where engagement, autonomy, and inspiration are actively nurtured, something entirely different happens. Employees don't just complete tasks, they bring new ideas, challenge assumptions, and find purpose in their work. Creativity and problem-solving emerge naturally because the environment allows people to fully engage with what they do. I've seen teams shift dramatically when leadership stops treating work as just a process to be optimized and starts treating it as a dynamic exchange of energy. The best leaders tap into what excites and motivates their teams, giving people the space to work in ways that align with their strengths and interests. They remove unnecessary constraints, encourage personal growth, and provide clarity of purpose. Energy is contagious. When leaders bring curiosity, enthusiasm, and vision to their teams, that energy spreads. When organizations create cultures of recognition, trust, and intrinsic motivation, employees show up not just because they have to, but because they want to. The real question is, are we managing for control, or are we creating an environment where energy flows freely and engagement thrives? Quantum management, adaptive organizational structures. Organizations that cling to rigid, hierarchical structures struggle to adapt in a world that is constantly evolving. Traditional management models assume that stability is the goal, but in reality, adaptability is the true competitive advantage. Quantum management embraces fluid, decentralized networks that can shift dynamically in response to internal and external changes. I've seen companies with rigid structures where decisions take weeks to get approval, where innovation is stifled by bureaucracy, and where teams feel disconnected from the bigger picture. These organizations may function well in stable conditions, but they break down under rapid change. In contrast, companies that embrace decentralized, flexible structures are able to pivot quickly, harness new opportunities, and empower teams to take ownership of their work. An adaptive organization operates more like a living system than a machine. Instead of relying on a top-down chain of command, decision-making is distributed, information flows freely, and teams self-organize around challenges rather than waiting for instructions. This doesn't mean chaos. It means that responsibility is shared, and trust is placed in those closest to the work to make the right decisions. I've seen teams that function within adaptive structures solve problems faster, innovate more effectively, and experience higher morale. They aren't bogged down by excessive approvals or outdated rules. They are empowered to experiment, iterate, and evolve. Leadership in these organizations is less about enforcing control and more about enabling autonomy, providing strategic clarity, and removing roadblocks. The companies that thrive uncertainty are not the ones that resist change, but the ones that embrace it as part of their DNA. The real question is, are we designing organizations to remain rigid in the face of complexity, or are we building structures that allow for continuous evolution and growth?